Hey team, Luke here with Crusader Machining. A while ago, practical machinists reached out to me and asked if I would be a contributor for their YouTube channel. Undoubtedly, I said yes. I've respected what they do. I follow them on social media for a long time, and I think they're one of the best at what they do, getting our message out to the masses on what machining is. So the series that I'm going to be doing for them is called the Lathe Lab, and as the name implies, it'll be heavily focused on lathe machining, CNC, and maybe conventional as well. Practical applications, programming, operation, etc., etc. I've got about 20 years experience in the industry, worked at a couple shops. About 95 to 99% of what I've ever done is lathe. Started with Brown and Sharp screw machines back around 2002 or something like that. Slowly moved up my way to CNCs, and that's where I've been ever since. Sliding headstock, Swiss style, fixed headstock, chucking, bar feed, prototype run, high production volume run, programming, CAD CAM. So like I say, in this series, we're going to be focused heavily on CNC lathe. For this first video that we're going to do today, we're going to go over kind of a basic introduction and a blueprint for what the series is going to cover. We're going to go over the anatomy of a CNC lathe, which will be pretty quick to go over. And then we're going to go over some basic tooling operations that the next video that we do on this, we're going to directly cover those topics. We're going to go over turning and threading. So that's how I head out to the shop. We'll take a look at a lathe, give a little breakdown before we move on to the next subject.
So here we have a basic CNC lathe. Well, I don't know about basic. Doosan TT 1800. Main spindle, sub-spindle, upper turret, lower turret, Y-axis on the top only. So as we open the door here, we see this. This is our top turret. And the reason I'm explaining this is as the videos go, we're going to hopefully get pretty in-depth with how far we go in operations and programming. So we want to be on the same page with all the nomenclature and our defining terms. Upper turret, lower turret. This here is your main spindle. This here is your sub-spindle. And the sub-spindle moves in A. The upper turret moves in X, Z, and also Y. And the lower turret moves in Z and X. But the bottom, our TT1800 does not have a Y-axis on the lower, Y-axis on the upper. So now that we got that out of the way, let's dive a little bit further into some machining. Turning, right now, OD and ID turning is what we're going to go over.
So now that we cover the basic anatomy of a lathe, just a simple little introduction in case we have some newcomers on board. We're going to go over turning. Now, one phrase that I've never liked to use is bread and butter. But when it comes to turning, or when it comes to CNC machining on a lathe, turning is your bread and butter. So you have rough turning and finished turning, and there's a lot more to it. I'm simplifying it down just as a basic introduction. OD turning is removing the material off, of course, the OD, or in the case of boring or ID turning, the ID. Our goal is to remove that material as fast as possible to be efficient in our cycle time, but also to have good tool life. So I know what you mean. I know what you're thinking. What does that mean? So tool life is how long are your tools going to last? You could push your machine super duper fast. That's a technical term. You could push your machine super duper fast and make one part really quick, but then you got to change the insert. Or in the case that we really want to avoid, you have a catastrophic failure. So as a machinist, you need to dial in the proper speeds and feeds to remove that material as fast as possible, but also have good tool life. So rough turning is when you're going to remove off the majority of that material to prepare for your finished turn. After you rough off the material, you're going to get a little bit more aggressive with that heavier depth of cut, higher feed rate, because your surface finish really doesn't matter that much, because you're going to have your finished tool that's going to come back in and clean it nicely. So just to reiterate, the rough turn, you're going to remove as much material as you can as fast as possible with having manageable and predictable tool life, and your finished turn is going to come in there and basically trim up any of the excess and make that bad finish shine well for your customer. And it's the same principle in the ID versus the OD. Growing up in the industry, we always called it boring, basically like my personality. But now they call it ID turning. When you're turning material in the inside of the part, ID inside diameter, OD outside diameter. It's the same principle with a boring bar. You're going to first punch a hole in with a drill, then you're going to get your rough boring tool by your recommended tooling manufacturer for that material and machine. Rough, 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 rough. Get as much material out as you can, and then you come in with your finish to make it look nice and pretty. So right now I have a couple videos I want you to take a look at of some rough and finish turning, OD and ID or boring that we're going to look at right now before we get into our next section. So now that we've covered the turning, little brief description and also some videos that I took of myself rough and finish turning. What I'd like you to do, if you're still unclear, rewind back, go look at the videos and look at the rough turn. You can see it's the one that's taking a lot of passes. Look to see how that's a lot more aggressive machining. We're machining aggressively to break that chip and what we call chip control. Manage the chip in the machine so the machine can run trouble-free. And then the finish turn, we run a little bit slower to give you a good finish. We're not worried so much about hogging off with that. And that's another term, very technical, hogging off. When you're going to use your rough turn to hog off as much material as you can as fast as possible. But like I say, we covered that. Now let's move on to threading. OD and ID threading are very near and dear to my heart. The reason being, I love to make a beautiful thread for my customer. Here's what I mean by that. Say a print has a 3/4 16 or a 7/8 14 thread. You can make that thread by the book. Proper pitch diameter, proper major or minor. Everything's good by the book, but when they go to grab that part with the thread, it hurts their hand. It cuts their hand because it's too sharp. I like to make a thread where we have a good turn, that we have a lay down threading insert, come and thread it, and then we deburr it. We come through, we hit it with a grooving tool or a turn again to clean off any burrs, then we come back and thread it again. Smooth as butter. So to get a little bit further into OD and ID threading, you have single point, you have tapping, you have die. A die puts a thread on the outside, which we really don't use in the CNC world. Then you have a tap. A tap cuts or forms the thread on the inside. My preferred method is single point. Single point threading, which we're going to get further into the series, is when you have what's called a lay down threading insert or like a grooving style threading insert. And you program either G76 or G92. You have your starting position, your ending position, your pitch or your feed, and you develop that thread one line at a time. That's single point threading. So when you're on the outside, you're going to thread and move further down in at the x-axis to develop that thread. On ID, you're going to start at your starting point. You're going to move slowly up in X to develop that thread, or up in X to develop that thread, to make it bigger. So that's what single point threading. You can look a little bit further in G92 and G76. And like I say, we will get into that hopefully very soon in this series. That's my preferred method. When you have what's called a lay down threading insert from any major manufacturer that you currently use, you can have a topping insert or a non-topping insert. A topping insert finishes your major or minor diameter. That's what I prefer. So that's a basic down and dirty explanation of threading. Tapping for the ID, it cuts or forms the thread, and it's fast. It's a lot faster than single point. Or a die, which I've never known anyone to put it on a CNC. A screw machine, yeah, or multi-spindle, but not like a fixed or sliding headstock. And then you have your single point, which I say is my preferred method. You can control your pitch a lot over the production run, and you have an opportunity to get a very beautiful thread with the proper tooling. So I took a couple videos also of threading that we're going to show right now. Take a look, and what I want you to look at is how the thread is slowly developed, where it's not just taking that all in one shot, we're developing the thread. Those are a few videos of us doing ID and OD threading on our machine here at our shop. So a little recap on the threading again. That is single point threading with a lay down insert that tops the major and or the minor, depending if you're doing ID threading or OD threading. That's my preferred method. Is it the fastest method? No. Is it the best? Maybe not. But it's what I prefer. I find that I can control that pitch diameter a lot better throughout a long production run by using a lay down insert, single point threading, G92 or G76 can cycle. Had a lot of luck with it. I can make a very beautiful thread. So a little brief recap on the whole video. We went over the anatomy of the CNC, basic brief anatomy. We went over rough, down and dirty, rough and finish turning, and we also briefly went over OD and ID threading. We're going to cover all those more in detail. The next video in this series is going to be on turning. What size nose radius to use for rough and finish, how to determine your depth of cut per side, how to determine your feed rate, surface footage, tool life, programming, all that we're going to get into the next one. This video is just a brief introduction to what the series is going to entail. This is the Lathe Lab. We're going over everything CNC lathe. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Hit up Practical Machinist on YouTube and Instagram. Like, follow, comment. If there's something that you guys want to see on this video, comment down below. Any critiques, or I'm sure it will all be compliments, but by all means, send those also. Compliments, critiques, any ideas of what you guys want to see in here. And also, you could check me out at Crusader Machining at Instagram, Crusader Machining at YouTube. I'd love it if you'd stop by, drop us a follow, like, comment, any comment, good, bad, or ugly. I'm here for it. Thank you guys for watching. And once again, thank you to Practical Machinists for having me on as a contributor.